Hello, I'm Robin Gibson, and this is the Harvard House Money Morsel. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Click a bell so you get a notification of when we get a new video. I'm sitting today with Willie Palsa. Welcome, Willie.
Good morning again.
So, Willie, one of the things that we talk to clients, they come in and they're scared of the markets going down and they say we should sell out. And we then ask them the question, what is going to make you put your money back in the market? And we always tell them that when the market starts to move, the news is not going to be great. And we're pretty much in a similar scenario to that. We've had a really, really good November. Markets have been very kind to us. But actually, it's still bad news. Load shedding, we still have got peak interest rates. We've got Transnet with hundreds of ships stuck with all our Black Friday goods out on the ocean. So kind of tell us why the market is going up when the news is bad.
Yeah, Robin, I think that's the dynamic in markets. Is it's a forward-looking system. So, as you say, at the worst scenarios, normally things have started to change. Now, we can look at things like, if you just look at oil as an example, oil is sitting at 80. Mm-hmm. At some point it was sitting at 92 and people were saying we're going back to 100. That has an inflationary effect, and we've spoken about inflation. Inflation reached 40-year highs. If you look at it today, South Africa inflation, and so inflation from a consumer perspective and a producer perspective is almost the same. It's 5.8%, give or take a decimal or so. And we were at 18s and we were at 12s. So that has already changed. So that sentimental or the factual economic statistics in the market has already changed. Yes. Another factor that has changed is on the interest rate outlook. Now, I wrote an article about how long. Yes. And the principle is we are at high levels on interest. But the forward-looking, because of some of the statistics I've mentioned, is saying that interest rates have peaked and now it will come down. So the stock market, the bond market, all the derivative markets have analyzed those things as they happened, and that's the forward-looking, that's the expectation coming through. So sometimes what happened, and as you say, we're in a worst-case scenario right now. You know, yes. We're again at stage 6 on load shedding, as you mentioned, and some of the others. So when you take a snapshot of the disastrous effect of world events right at the moment, you would expect financial markets to tank.
Yes.
But because they are forward-looking, the change of sentiment has happened. And the share prices react to that. They don't react all the time on the news as it happens. Yes, there is an element of that. But, you know, as I say, markets do tend to look forward. You know, if you look at November, as you've mentioned, you know, we were close to 6-7% up on the JSE. You know, some shares in the month were up like 12%. You know,
yes.
BHP Billiton. We're talking about world recession scenarios, but commodity stock is up that much. Yeah. We look at the local market. You know, retail sales. You mentioned the Black Friday concept. The stock is on a boat in the ocean somewhere.
Yes.
We didn't have the best Black Friday sales for that matter, but some of our consumer-related stocks are up 8, 9, 10% in November. Yes. You know, so the principle is yes, the exact event leads us to be cautious.
Yes.
But the underlying true economic fundamentals has turned the corner.
So give me an idea as an economist. What are the sort of things you say we're forward-looking, but what are the sort of things that you look at in order to predict? I mean, we don't have a crystal ball. I mean, I certainly haven't seen anything on your desk like that. But what sort of statistics do you look at that tells you what this forward is going to be?
Yeah, Robin, the first is to go with sentiment indicators. So there's quite a few institutions like the Bureau of Economic Research in Stellenbosch. They publish numbers on consumer confidence, business confidence, the construction industry confidence, the building industry confidence. So and the Reserve Bank publish an indicator, what they call the leading indicator. So if you look at things like that, that's when the question comes through, you know, you take a snapshot, you know, are you going to change your business right now? what's your forward outlook. So all of those factors getting published into these indices to give you a sentiment. All those sentimental indicators have turned positive. 2 days ago, I was actually looking at the construction industry's sentimental indicator, and that's up for the last 3-4 months. Okay. Now, we can throw the negative in. There's still the construction mafia for that matter. Transnet is not building. Eskom is, so all of those things. But the sentiment is based on the fact I'm a business person. Am I going to spend money today because I'm looking for the return in a year's time or 2 years or 3 years time?
Yes.
So people have changed that sentiment to say, yes, I'm prepared to do something for the next 2-3 years. So I start with the sentimental indicators of what we look at, and then you obviously get factual statistics coming up to a point in time. Retail sales, argument's sake, or your manufacturing statistics, or your mining statistics, or something from the agricultural industry or so on, which is up to a point that the real engine for that matter, it's moving or not. So in combination of those, you do get I don't want to use the word gut feel, but you get a sense that the momentum is changing. So I would phrase it as a momentum feeling, so the momentum is upwards or the momentum is downwards based on those.
So often we look at a company and we're going, well, these are the results that they've actually done. But I'm guessing that those indicators are almost talking to that same company and going, well, the results is about what happened before, but the indicator is going, well, what have you got sitting on your desk in terms of orders from your customers and what are you ordering? And so that's kind of giving an insight from that same company as to the way forward. Is that pretty much how it works?
Yeah, and I think I can use Bidvest as an example in here, Robin. So we've earmarked Bidvest as a solid South African-based company because they've got a finger in almost every economic pie in the country. Yeah. When they released their financial year-end results, they were shooting the lights out, so indicating that people are buying stuff, we're moving stuff, transport, because they're exposed to the transport industry, and so on and so on. And then at the annual general meeting, which was 4 weeks after that, they gave an update to say, okay, in the last 4 weeks since year-end up to now, South Africa doesn't look great. That's basically what the update said. Yeah. And the share price came down to 10% on the day. Yeah. But if we look at what Bidvest is busy with for the next 2-3 years, this is a small little hiccup in the bigger scheme of things. And back to when we look at it, we look at historical fundamentals for the business. Yes, what is their forward-looking outlook? Still very positive. Small little hiccup, which is the facts of today. The ports, the rails, the car industry,
interest rates,
they're everywhere. Yeah. But we still focus on the forward-looking and just take into account the short term, and maybe it gives you a buying opportunity. Absolutely. So that's how you have to look through these things.
So actually the point is don't look at the newspaper and your portfolio alongside each other. That's not a very good idea. No. Billy, thanks for giving us some insight into that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and join us next time. Bye-bye.